Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope everyone's Monday afternoon is going awesome. We are here to talk about some things that are going on in the commercial world, specifically the perfect storm that is brewing in commercial brokerage. So I'm going to wait a second and allow a few people to hop on the line. We got a whole bunch of people that are coming in today. But when you do hop on, go ahead and comment below where you're reaching out from, where you're dialing in from, or what have you. And we'll get into it in just a minute. But I think you're really going to enjoy this today. It's really cool the time that we're in. There's a lot of market shifts going around, and that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what those market shifts are, and more importantly, how to take advantage of them. So I'll just let a couple people come on. Looks like we've got a few folks on the line. Where are you from? If you can go ahead and put in the comments where you're reaching out from and what your market is. So, hey, there's Robbie. Philly's in the house. There we go. Okay, go Eagles. EAGLES. Even though I'm from North Jersey, we're Giants fans, but I still got Philly love. But welcome, Robbie. Good to see you on. And we got some more folks hopping on the line now. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, for always being here. What I try to do is I try to bring you some new insights every week, something to think about, something to take away. We got Tony coming in from Central Florida. Tony, how are you? Nice to see you. Glad things are moving forward, and it's always good to hear from you. And so the idea is to give you some perspectives, give you some thoughts that you can take away from today, carry them into your business so that you can start implementing them, or you start positioning yourself so that down the road, you're able to say, okay, listen, this is where I want to be 3 months from now, so that by the time the trend gets there, boom, you're already properly set up, right? So my idea, or the concept of what I do for you, is try to give you these ideas, and so you can take advantage of them down the road. Right? So basically, today the presentation I'm going to be doing is going to be about the perfect storm that is brewing for realtors, and how to navigate it to win big. What it is right now, we are seeing some things in the market that we have never ever seen. It's really interesting. It's really cool, actually. What I love about it is that we have never seen a pandemic. No one that's on the planet can remember the pandemic from 1918. No one can remember these times. So we are in completely uncharted waters. What does that mean? We have a whole new set of challenges. We have a whole new set of opportunities, right? Where one person looks at something and sees it as a challenge, I look at it as, it's not a stop sign, it's a speed bump, right? How do we get over that speed bump and keep on going? And more importantly, how can we take anything and view it as an opportunity to win and win big, right? Kobe Bryant, amazing. He's a really philosophical dude, and he said that every bad thing that happens in your life, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but every bad thing that happens is an opportunity for you to rise above it. Every bad situation, everything that occurs, every challenge that occurs. So this is no different. And so what we're looking to do is see how we can ride the wave of this perfect storm that I'm going to tell you about, and then position ourselves so that we can win coming up in the next 1, 2, 3 years, because I promise you there's going to be a ton of opportunity in the market. Mark my words, 2021, let's talk in 2023 and see how much opportunity has come to the market. Okay, so without further ado, without further hype, let's get it going. All right, so basically, numero uno. Tell me by a raise of hands, okay, I'm going to start rattling off a series of events, right? Tell me if any of this sounds familiar, okay? The pandemic hits, interest rates drop, houses become more affordable, buyers flood to the market, inventory levels drop precipitously, and prices skyrocket. Anybody by a show of hands? Michael, thanks for joining us from DC. By show of hands, or type in +1 in the comments if you recognize any of this, right? Interest rates drop, houses become affordable, buyers flood the market, pricing goes through the roof, right? I think that's the story all across the country. People are seeing this day in, day out, and it's become very difficult to do business, right? So that's the state of affairs, what's starting to occur, right? So now, right, we have Agents can't get buyers into homes because there's way too much competition. There's 5, 10, 15 offers for every home, right? Buyers are getting priced out of the market now, okay? Now, these are some of the effects, right? Now I'm going to start extrapolating that because I was around. I was in the real estate game back in 2006, and I saw this whole thing happen before with the housing prices shooting through the roof. I bought my first home in 2005, and you felt lucky if you could get into something. If you felt lucky if your full price offer was accepted. Michael, thanks for joining us from Central Mass. Appreciate it. Good to see you on here. So, and then now it's no different. Here we are 15 years later, and things are heated up. Well, what winds up happening is it gets harder for agents to do deals. Agents are going to do the same amount of work, if not more work, but make less money as a result, okay? And then agents are going to start leaving the business, and brokerages are going to start suffering, right? This is just kind of like a natural chain of events. We saw it happen before. It's likely to happen again if you don't start looking around at the scenario, at the situation that's upon us, and start making some maneuvers, right? The Marines have an awesome slogan that they use, right? You improvise, you adapt, and overcome. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. There's a challenge, you figure out a way around it. If anyone's ever read that book, Who Moved My Cheese? Basically, they had these rats that used to run through the maze and look for the cheese. Well, one day they moved the cheese, and certain rats just couldn't find a way to get fed. Why? Because someone moved the cheese, and they didn't figure out a way to navigate their way through the maze, right? So what happens right now, we are in the middle of a perfect storm. What is a perfect storm? Perfect storm is when multiple storms come together and create a confluence of events that brings about some very, very unusual scenario. What is that scenario? Okay, we are in the middle, during the same time period. So I talked about what was on the residential side. Now let's talk about what's going on the commercial side and how that relates to the perfect storm that we're in the middle of, right? So pandemic hits, okay? Commercial investors retreat. Stores and restaurants close and suffer losses, and people just can't pay their bills because people aren't going out to eat because everyone is locked down, right? Commercial vacancy levels skyrocket. We've never seen some of these commercial vacancy levels the way where they are, or at least not in the amount of time that it occurred in, right? I've been in 2 decades of this business and have never seen anything like we saw in 2020, right? People begin working from home in mass numbers like we've never seen before. The highways were, it looked like it was some post-apocalyptic, like Mad Max movie. Just the highways were wide open. Nobody was on the roads, for quite some time there. People got laid off from their jobs. They stopped paying rent, and then commercial property owners and investors suffered, right? So on the residential side, we have all these buyers coming, all these people coming into the market. They're driving prices up. It's getting harder and harder to make money and harder to sell houses because there's so many people buying. On the commercial side, we have businesses shutting down, abandoning ship, everybody's falling off, and then now we're left with, a year later, a whole lot of vacancy, a lot of people working from home that didn't used to, a lot of stores that were closed, a lot of restaurants that were closed, but we still have a lot of landlords and investors that need to keep these properties full, right? So what's happening right now? Knock, knock, knock. Opportunities are knocking, right? Why do I say that? Well, opportunities knocking because on one hand, there's not enough houses to go around, and on the other hand, we have so much vacancy that we haven't seen in years. We've never seen it fall so precipitously that there's an obvious opportunity on the commercial side for residential agents. Now, let me just break into why residential agents make fantastic commercial agents. You already know 5 of the 8 steps, right? You already know in a commercial deal, there's 8 steps to the transaction. You already know how to find clients. You already know how to nurture and follow up relationships. You already know how to prospect and follow up with them. You already know how to put properties under contract. You already know how to close and collect. You already know how to do schedule inspection periods and so forth. So there's a lot of skills that you don't even realize that that we do on the commercial side also, but you don't necessarily realize that you're already doing these skills on the residential side, right? What is missing is prospecting, or I'm sorry, rather, what's missing is valuation, a good solid foundation of multiple property types, and then knowing where to source commercial investors, buyers, and sellers, right? So just to give you an idea, right? But there's a lot of reasons why people that are on the residential side don't want to get into commercial, right? Some of them, they think it's too hard. A lot of my students complain to me that no commercial brokers want to help. It's kind of like a good old boy society, and they don't want to let anyone in. They don't want to share their knowledge with anybody. Most people I talk to, I have students from 9 different states, and they all tell me, they say, listen, commercial agents just want us to refer them out. They don't want to, let them see how the process is done, how the how the what's that word? Where the rubber meets the road, right? And then also they say there's nowhere to learn, there's no resources out there. And some people think that you have to go and work for a commercial company in order to learn commercial. And a lot of people think it'll take too long to learn the skills necessary. I'm here to tell you most of those things are completely false, and if not mostly untrue. Here's my goal, right? My goal in today's lesson, in talking about this perfect storm that's upon us, is that I want to show you the benefits of adding commercial brokerage to your skill set, and how just closing a few commercial deals can have a major impact on your brokerage business and your lifestyle, right? I also want to show you that the only way for you to close these commercial deals more quickly is through a proven plan with the right tools and the right guidance, right? There's an old saying, the reason why we can see so far is because we stood on the shoulders of giants. What we can do by leveraging other people's knowledge, we can learn faster, and time is the only non-renewable resource, right? So my third goal is to show you exactly how we bridge that gap between residential and commercial by learning foundations, demystifying valuation, and why you need to build a solid investor list. Those are the 3 things that you're missing. They're critical, they're very, very important. But once you learn those, you can effectively bridge the gap between residential land and commercial land. Make sense? Okay. You're probably thinking, why should I ask this guy? Why should I listen to Christian? Well, not only do I own my own brokerage, but I've also come from the development side. I'm an investor as well as being a property manager for over 10 years. So I teach commercial real estate from a 360-degree view. My job, my aim, and my goal is to help you folks learn a bit more, to help be less intimidated by the process, because I'm here to tell you, you can absolutely learn how to sell commercial real estate. Think of it like this, right? If there's a way of doing something which will make you more money and make your life a little bit better, that's what I would like for you to do, okay? Because I know what it's like to deal with stressful clients. I know what it's like to have to take clients that maybe are kind of tough to deal with and so forth, just because you got to keep the lights on and keep the bills paid. I get it, but what I want to show you is that how adding commercial can help increase your level of satisfaction, right, and increase your quality of life as well, right? So most people get into commercial real estate because they want either more time or more money, right? One of the nice things about commercial real estate is that we typically deal with with business people that are working during the hours of commerce, right? So it's Monday through Friday, and it's going to be 9 to 5, 8 to 6, something like that. I mentioned before, I can count on 2 hands in the last 18 years how many showings I've done on a weekend, right? It's just because that's not when people do business on the commercial side, right? When you're dealing with residential buyers, right? Most people have jobs, 80%, 90% work for somebody else. They have to ask off, so they're not going to be able to have, at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, they're not going to be able to go look at houses, right? So what winds up happening on the residential side, you wind up doing a lot of your work at night or on weekends, right? And then you want to, also having to work during the day. So you want to kind of having this kind of like you're on the hamster wheel and dealing with things, 7 days a week. I was on the phone speaking with a gentleman today, working 7 days a week. That's tough. That's really tough on you. So if for no other reason you started to learn commercial so you could have a little bit of your time back on the weekends, a little bit of your time at night, it's something that's definitely helpful, right? Another one of the reasons why people get into commercial brokerage is on the residential side. There's kind of an expectation by buyers for their agents that there's 24/7 availability, right? Whereas the commercial side, we deal with business during business hours. Again, Monday through Friday, so on and so forth, and 9 to 5, okay? Another thing that winds up happening is we also, we tend to see things from a different perspective, right? So for instance, when we're dealing with commercial agents, or agents are dealing with commercial investors and so forth, what we wind up seeing is more business-minded folks, right? You know, the decisions that they're making are going to be more black and white. They're going to be more, you know, number-oriented. They're going to be more, okay, does it work or does it not work? 1 and 1 equals 2, right? We're not dealing with someone's home. We're not dealing with someone's, it's a less of a personal decision and much more of a business decision, you know. So when people are dealing with emotional decisions, they make emotional responses to these decisions. We don't see that nearly as much. So if you've ever had an emotional roller coaster in a transaction, someone's up and down and up and down and changing their mind and calling you all hours of the night and stressing you out and so forth, we have a whole lot less of that on the commercial side, right? And then finally, if you look at the statistics, and I'll bring up some of the statistics in just a minute, but commercial agents, according to the National Association of Realtors, earn around $85,000 a year, where the average residential agent earns about $44,000. So we're looking at almost double, because the size of the transactions tends to be quite a bit larger, so the earnings are quite a bit larger as well, right? So there's one study that showed that according to the NAR, that the average residential agent makes around $39,000. I've seen it as high as $44,000, whereas the average commercial agent is at $85,000. Right. There's also another study done that showed that the median gross income. Now, median means that half agents do less than that, and half of the agents do more than that. So these are where the agents somewhere in the middle fall, right? The median gross income for commercial agents is $153,000 for leasing agents, and for leasing agents it's $134,000, and for sales agents it's $153,000. So that's the median for commercial, right? So that's quite a bit higher than the average residential agent, right? And then finally, the average commercial transaction, according to the NAR, is $1.6 million, which means on a 3% fee, you're looking at approximately a $57,000 average commission on the commercial side. So as you can see, if someone's making $153,000 a year, they don't have to do but 3 transactions a year to get to that number, with an average fee size of around $57,000, right? So the question is, what will be the something that might make your life a little bit better? What is this perfect storm, and how do we take advantage of it, right? So on one hand, it's getting really hard to do business. It's getting really hard for people to get the income level maybe that they experienced a year ago or 2 years ago, right? Because there are so many buyers in the game. On the other hand, you have a lot of opportunities on the commercial side. I'm willing to put my word on the line out there that there are not enough people to service the influx of business that's upon us, right? So at the same time, if the people that aren't able to make the money that they used to start adding on the skill set of and working more on the commercial side, there's a whole lot of opportunity there. Here's what I would recommend, right? I would recommend learning how to sell a couple commercial properties a year, offset your income. And tell me if this is something that you folks have ever seen. Have you ever seen where approximately 20%, you've heard of the 80-20 rule, right? 20% of your clients make up about 80% of your headaches, right? So my recommendation is pick up a couple commercial transactions a year. Take and by having that additional income, you'll be able to take a couple less clients on the residential side. What does that mean? You can get rid of some of the headache clients. So what's going to happen is you'll wind up making more money and having less headache clients. And all around, I mean, like we were talking about before, people do this so they have more time or more money. Why not have both, right? So the question is, how do you do that? Okay. Now, mind you, what I want to show you is again, what we do here at CRE Basic Training is the name of the coaching program that I have, and I want to show you how we do this, right? What we do is we take you through a system. We take you through a process where we show you over a 6-month period. We give you the skills, the knowledge, and the confidence to be able to close commercial transactions on your own. The way we start it is we start off with having you reach out to your sphere of influence and finding someone that's going to want to do business with you. The best thing about your sphere of influence is people already know, like, and trust you. It's a warm lead. So you can find someone from there. We teach you how to take that lead, how to nurture it, how to fulfill it, how to get it closed, so you can get some immediate money in your pocket and you get a return on your investment. And then we show you how to refine the process, how to create a buyer list, how to increase your knowledge of valuation. Because at the end of the day, valuing properties is the most important skill in commercial real estate, bar none. If you put a property on the market for way too high of a price, there's it's impossible to sell. The analogy I always use is go to the mall, right, and ask for $22 for a $20 bill, and let me know how long people are going to be, or how willing people are to give you $22 for a $20 bill. It is never going to happen, not in a million years, which is why valuation is of utmost importance, right? So if anybody has any questions, I would love to be able to help you. I'd love to be able to guide you through this process. But like I said, CRE basic training is our 6-month training process. If you want to learn these skills so that you can not only make more money, but also have a little bit more time back in your schedule, and finally have a little bit more peace of mind, not have to take every single client that comes along, and you can be a little bit pickier. I think what you will find is that you'll find that you'll get more satisfaction, make more money, have more time for your family, have more time for yourself, and have a little bit more peace of mind. Right? So if anybody has any questions about this, if they want to learn more, type learn in the comments. I'd be happy to reach out to you and give you a bit more information about the course. Like I said, 6 months, the next 6 months is going to go by, no matter what. And wouldn't you like to 6 months from now have your first commercial transaction close, a little bit more money in your pocket, and a little bit more peace of mind? I think so. So anything you folks can need help with, have any questions, feel free to type them in the comments. But if not, I'll go ahead and I'll reach out to you next week. I look forward to seeing you folks. I look forward to hearing from you. And I see Mark. Mark's joining us from Naples. How are you doing, Mark? Long time no see. But if you have any questions, like I said, reach out to me in the comments. If you want to learn more about the coaching program, type learn in the comments, and I'll be sure to reach out to you and see how we might be able to help you. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you enjoy. Talk to you soon.